We're heading into one of the focus areas of my reclamation attempts, into the Wisteria tangle. There are 3 types of Wisteria, 1 native, 2 invasive. This is not the native variety. Japanese and Chinese Wisteria were introduced to the U.S. in the early 1800s. As an ornamental vine, they're resilient, fast-growing, and bloom with captivating racemes of cascading purple flowers. An easy way to tell which species you may be dealing with is to trace the climbing vine. Find the trellis host, and you can see each vine coming up this poor tree. It's all following the same direction. Chinese Wisteria follows a counterclockwise pattern, while Japanese Wisteria winds clockwise. The American variety also winds counterclockwise. That's how we definitely know we are dealing with an invasive species of Wisteria. As you can see, it's going up the tree in a clockwise fashion. Wisteria is a persistent woody vine with innovative adaptations that enable it to thrive in a variety of soils, resist stress, and outcompete other plants in the race for resources. It'll climb anything it can find to better reach sunlight, trees, structures, even its own vines. Surviving drought, frost, and all but complete destruction of the root structure. The vines can sprout from the ground and trail well into the canopy in a year's time. The vines start out as soft, green growth, but over time, get woody and thick, really hardy and strong. If you were to watch the progression, at first you would notice a few trailing vines sticking out of the treetops. Then you'd see less and less of the tree's leaves, and more of the wisteria, until, through strangulation, deprivation of light, and exhaustion under the weight, the tree will fall. All the trees will fall. This section is in the intermediate phase, and I've done a good bit of clearing out some of the piles that I didn't get to. And you can see through all there's still a handful of trees in the tangle fighting to make it. At the end of this video, I'll show you a section that's reached the end phase. Wisteria is a member of the bean and pea family, along with the delicate, beautiful flowers characteristic of these plants. It also has the ability to fix nitrogen from the air into a bioavailable nutrient. Nitrogen is one of the limiting resources of plant growth. It's the key ingredient in fertilizers and plant food that gives your little buddies that extra pep in their step. With the help of symbiotic bacteria that live in nodules on its roots, Wisteria makes its own food. With nothing willing to eat its leaves and its own fertilizer source, it grows in places and at a rate that most other plants cannot. Vines love to climb. But this one is quite the runner. If there's nothing to climb, Wisteria will grow as a ground cover. Prefers elevation to flower and produce seeds, but does not need it to spread. Fences, roads, and even bodies of water are more obstacles than barriers for this tenacious go-getter. It's one of the few plants I've encountered that seems to sprout legs. Can live for decades. Some of these vines have been alive longer than I have. And any that I fail to get under control will live on long after me. Years of uninterrupted growth create a tight tangle of roots, branches, debris. This increases water absorption and their ability to gather nutrients, but it also eliminates the ability of any other plant to take root. Can't find the dirt unless you cut through the tangle. This is where invasive wisteria crosses the threshold from aggressive to destructive. Through killing native species, blocking out light for germination and growth, and closing off access to soil and nutrients, once wisteria has reached an overgrown level, the only other plants that you see are fast-growing weeds, blackberries, greenbriers. If you're ever venturing into a wisteria thicket, I recommend thorn-resistant gloves. Wisteria itself does not pose much of a threat unless you try eating the flowers or seeds, but the stubborn, thorny things that hide in it are particularly unkind to the bare skin. Wisteria is a cultural symbol of love, depicted in art and poetry, celebrated and beautiful to behold. When the flowers are in bloom, the lavender against the lush green, walking through it is dreamlike. The flowers are pleasant and fragrant, with a drifting aroma that carries on the breeze. Butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds are drawn into the blooms. The seed pods offer their own unique phenomena. The long bean-like pods dry out and twist, and when the temperature and humidity are just right, you can hear an applause of audible pops as the pods burst and drop their seeds. Over time, forests turn into a tangled mass of vines with broken trunks, like the ones you see here. It is a plant out of place, doing exactly what evolution taught it to do. Grow, climb, survive. When I cut wisteria back, it's not because I hate it. I have empathy for it. In its home ecosystem, wisteria is a part of a harmony. The imbalance came from moving it to a place where nothing holds it in check. It would be much simpler to clear everything out. Take a tractor, turn a foot of topsoil. But that would extinguish the effort of all that remains fighting to live underneath. Wisteria is a story of duality, beauty and burden, resilience and destruction. It reminds me that not everything in nature fits neatly into good or bad. Like us, every plant has its place. My goal is to restore the balance, not erase the story.